This is my brother ST371HD, and well, like a lot of sewing machines, it can do a ton of different things. It can make quilts and blankets and bed sheets, pillowcases, custom clothes, you name it. But yo, we just want to take our crappy unfitted clothes and make those look better on us. So because of that, we need to learn way less about this sewing machine than you think. The top is for your spool of thread and your bobbin winder. More on this in a second, but you won't use it hardly, well, like ever. Your bobbin is what makes up the bottom of your stitch, and the bobbin, well, it lasts actually kind of a long time. By that I mean, if you sew something using, let's say, black thread, you're gonna make a bobbin and you're gonna use it on like 7 shirts before you ever have to replace it. So when you aren't winding a bobbin, we'll just kind of pretend that it isn't even there. Its normal position is right here, all the way to the left. I can't push this guy at all any farther, but if I were to push it to the right, that right there, that's what makes it spin in a circle, letting us wind up a bobbin. Your spool of thread here, well, it's kind of sort of self-explanatory, right? It's got a cap right on the end here that keeps it in place so it doesn't just go flying off on you. Oh, and right here on the end, there's a little notch right there where you got some thread pulled right through there. It's a little divot in the plastic. Make sure that you know where this is and make sure that it's facing that direction. If you have the orientation of your thread spool this way, what's gonna happen is it's gonna spin in a circle. The next thing you know, your thread's gonna get caught on that notch and just snap. Super annoying, had to find that out the hard way. But wait. How do we get our thread down to the needle down there? Well, here's the thing. Your sewing machine, it doesn't just like leave you hanging. It's got numbers and pictures showing you exactly where your thread is supposed to go. It shows you exactly how to get your spool of thread from where it is right here, how to thread it all the way down to the needle. And boom, just like that, you've mastered the top of a sewing machine. By the way, I'm SD, and if you're new here, what I like to do on this channel is show guys like you how to use a sewing machine to transform every single thing that you wear. So if that sounds interesting to you, be sure to click that subscribe button down below. Now the best part about learning how to use a sewing machine is finding straight bangers like these. And the reason why they're bangers is because I didn't pay very much money for these at all. What I got right here is a pair of slim fit chinos that I got for $11 on clearance at Target. Now like a lot of things, they don't fit, but for $11, of course I'm gonna pull the trigger. My size is normally a 34-32 and these are a 36-32. And usually, what do people have to do? They'll come across a really good deal on something. They'll say, oh cool, I like the fit of those chinos, or I like the color of those chinos, but well, they're not my size. Yeah, they're only 12 bucks, 11 bucks, but they're not gonna fit, so I'm not gonna buy them. But we don't have that problem on this channel. I'm going to completely transform how these look. Now luckily they're already the fit that I would be looking for. Since they are slim fit, we don't have to really do all that much. All we're going to do is we're gonna take this side seam, the inseam right in here, and we're just gonna we're gonna move it in. We might mix around or kind of work around the tapering a bit and kind of manipulate it here, but for the most part, we're just gonna take the existing inseam in the dimensions that it has now and move those in. And we're also gonna be kind of changing around everything we got going on up here, because like I said, I wear a 34-inch and these are a 36-inch. So what do we gotta do? Is put some darts right here. The reason why I'm gonna do darts on these is because they already have 2 seams going along right there, so I can use these to my advantage. This is the middle or the intimidating part of a sewing machine, but here's the funny thing about it. The fundamental concept of every single sewing machine made in the last, like, I don't know, 100 years has not changed pretty much at all. It asks you 3 questions. What type of stitch do you wanna make? How long do you want that stitch to be? And how wide? Remember when we talked about things like pillows and blankets and quilts? Yeah, there's all sorts of variations of things that we can do with this machine. That's why all these hieroglyphics are right here. But the only 2 types of stitches that I use on my sewing machine are a straight stitch and a zigzag stitch. So that's answer to question number 1. And a straight stitch is gonna create a new, just more flattering look on our shirts, on our chinos, on our jeans. And what a zigzag stitch is gonna do is it's gonna overlap that edge that we just made, locking it in and kind of just preventing it from fraying in the washing machine. And for the length of the stitch, what I will do is 2.5. So what do the numbers mean then? Well, the numbers are for the length of the individual stitch in millimeters, and 2.5 millimeters, well, see, that's the length of a standard stitch that you would get from the store. So if you want to replicate that look, well, just make sure that you go with 2.5. Answer to question number 2, how long do we want our stitch to be? Yup, we just answered it. In answer to question number 3, how wide? Well, if we're making a zigzag stitch, it matters because it's gonna control how far from side to side the needle goes as it overlaps over our garment. You know, I kind of want to take this opportunity to tell you that no, I'm not a tailor, I'm not a seamstress, I have zero background in any of this stuff. I was just a guy who was really tired of wearing clothes that didn't fit anymore, so I just decided to learn how to use a sewing machine and just kind of change all that. And I am telling you, if I can figure it out, yo, you can figure it out too. Seriously, I knew nothing before this and I just figured it all out and I learned. So don't be scared, don't be intimidated. Yo, I got you. We're gonna go through this together. These guys right here, these are a little bit different. And the reason why they're different is because I saw these, I loved the wash. I absolutely am obsessed with this wash. But once again, we got the same problem with these guys right here because they're too big. They're the exact same size as those chinos that we saw. So these are a 36, 32 as well, but here's the problem. These pants, these jeans, these are not slim fit. They're not regular fit. Yo, these are boot cut. Who wears boot cut jeans anymore? So in regards to kind of changing things around and manipulating this inseam right here, we're gonna have to be a lot more aggressive. And there's a delicate balance between being aggressive with manipulating this inseam and being too aggressive to the point where we'll just straight up, well, ruin these pants. When we're measuring and we're pinning and we're taking in this seam, well, we don't want to do too much because what could happen, this outseam, the outside seam right over here, it kind of gets twisted. And do you see this inseam right here? See how you have this double stitching? Looks really nice, it's really durable, it's really sleek, it's how a lot of jeans are manufactured. I had somebody reach out to me on Instagram and they were like, yo, SD, I wanna tailor my pants, but they got this stitching in here and I wanna be able to keep that. And I had to be the bearer of bad news and be like, yo, I'm sorry, man, you can't. The reason why you can't keep this stitching is because we'll just kind of think about how a sewing machine works. If we wanted to make this stitching, everything here would have to be flat. So yes, we could do the seam, which by the way is called a flat felled seam. We've done a tutorial on it before because you can do it on a dress shirt, but the reason why you can't do it on your jeans is because, but look, if I'm gonna be stitching on the top side, sewing machine's going right over the top, just like that, but it's going through the top and the bottom. So we're sewing right just like that. This is what we would end up with, a stitch that goes right in the middle of our pan. No bueno, we don't want that. So what I usually do is I end up just doing a regular straight stitch that will look just like this. Let's go ahead and move on down below to the bottom. This right here, this is where things start moving, but how and why are they moving? And well, how does all of this here just make our clothes look better on us? Well, this area right here is where our needle is gonna combine our top thread and our bottom thread that we have down there in our bobbin. Remember that bobbin that we spun up before up there? Yeah, it goes right down here. Consult your manual, but well, you probably have a drop-in bobbin and your machine has notches showing you exactly where to pull your thread through. It's easy, but just take your time. These back here, this is your presser foot and these are your feed dogs. And these two parts work in tandem. The presser foot is gonna hold your garment in place and your feed dogs are actually gonna move it back that way. That's right, because when you're sewing, you're not actually pushing anything through. You're just guiding it. You're letting the machine do the work for you. It's gonna kind of guide it through there. And all you're doing is you're just doing some angling on the direction that you want your garment to go and you're pulling pins out as you go along. That's it. Oh, see? I told you. It's not hard. It's easy. Let's go use all those skills that you just learned, shall we? Let's go take in the side seams of our t-shirts, huh? Yeah, let's go do that. It's in the end card. I'll see you on the other side. ST out. See ya.